Hi again, class. This tutorial concerns organization of folders. Not folders, but layers in Photoshop. It's very important to have your layers labeled and organized, especially nowadays when your files are being handed to other concept artists and also to art directors, and they need to know what each layer is doing, what the labeling is, what's the reason for the certain amount of layers that you have and groupings of layers, just to keep it organized, so there's a clear language between artists and art directors and production designers. So here we are in Photoshop. I'm going to open. I'm actually going to bring in this image into Photoshop, which I thought was pretty cool. So here's our image. Now if we want to do anything on there, obviously we go down here, or we can go up to layer, new layer. I always go down here to lower right here and just click on this little icon. It gives us an extra layer. Open this up a bit here. And we can do whatever we're going to do on it, which I don't even know what it would be, but say, let's make that smaller. Say you're doing whatever you're doing. I don't know what it would be. It could be some kind of terrain. I mean, this is just, I'm just showing, it's symbolic, this. So that's your layer for whatever that is. Then you add another layer for something else, it's a different color. And then you add another layer for something else, it's a different color than that. So you've got these different layers of things. And what happens is the more stuff you do in Photoshop, you get all these layers adding up and adding up and adding up. And for example, if you wanted to duplicate these layers, you start getting, you've got 6 layers here. So what I do, say all of these layers contain, for example, foliage. For example, I label this tree 1. Oops. And then this is tree 2. And so on, all the way up, tree 1, tree 2, branch, leaf, all kinds of stuff. So I click on what I want to do is, if I want to turn off all of the foliage that I've added all at once, instead of clicking through this stuff all the time, I basically click on the top here. I go to layer, pull down to group layers. It gives me a little folder here, just a little folder. So I just click this shut, and then I hold the shift key down. I touch the top, hold the shift key down, and the bottom one, highlight those, and then just drag them into the group. So now they're all in this group, so now I can turn that on and turn it off. Now say you have multiple groups. So this group is foliage. This group is truss, like this truss or something like that. So this group is, maybe you have, maybe that's, the mountains are on a layer, on a series of layers. Oops. Can't get AIN. So you have all of these things on different layers. What I always like to do is I'll color code the layers. So I'll hit Control and just click on the eye icon. So Control, click on the eye icon and just highlight it, the color that you want. So now these are all red. This could be yellow. These are all yellow. And this could be violet. So then you have these different colors here. And this is helpful if you are moving layers around, moving the tree layer into, for example, the mountain layer, and it's up here. You know that the yellows are trees or foliage, and you can just quick look at it, and there it is. Because sometimes if you don't choose to label every single layer, because you've got maybe 40 layers, what are you going to have? Tree 36? So just the yellow icon tells you that, okay, it's maybe a tree or some kind of foliage, as opposed to a land or a mountain or a sky or clouds. So that's just a quick way of organizing your layers when you're dealing with large files and large illustrations. You can always also grab these, click on the top, hold the shift key down, click on the bottom, and then you can group those also into a layer, into a group. So those three groups are now into another group. So maybe you have trees in multiple layers in a group, and you have certain bushes in multiple layers in a group, and so on and so forth. So you can go on forever and ever with the labeling of this, but it gets very complicated, so you want to keep it as organized as you possibly can. So that's just a basic way of organizing your layers in Photoshop for larger files.